Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reds Room, where we take an in-depth look at Cincinnati Reds baseball memorabilia. I'm your host, Sean Sparks, and my first guest appearing over the next 3 episodes. He's not only a Reds memorabilia collector, but he's also the creator and an administrator of the Cincinnati Reds Memorabilia Collectors Facebook group. All the way from Westchester, Ohio, Chris Likens. Chris, welcome to the Reds Room.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
All right, great. Let's get started. So, before we get into all this great memorabilia, kind of what I want to talk maybe about you a little bit. So, what kind of got you into collecting? Like when, where, and what was like your general interest from the beginning?
I would say I started collecting as a child, and baseball cards was really got me into collecting.
Sure.
And then evolved from baseball cards into bobbleheads due to all the stadium giveaways.
Yeah.
And then really after graduating college, just picked up from there.
So it's been like, what, 20, 25 years of
Yeah,
collecting?
about a good 20, 25 years.
Yeah, and like a lot of us, you know, so many of us out there, baseball cards as kids or teenagers is what really brought us into the collecting world. And a lot of us either stay with that. I mean, collecting cards is still really huge, but like you and I, we've moved more away from cards. Not that we don't have our fair share of them, but, you know, we've moved away from that. And, of course, one of the big things that you're involved with now is as we film this today, we're looking at, what, over 9,000 members in your Facebook group?
Yep, just hit 9,000 members and our 5-year anniversary a month ago.
5 years. I can't believe it's been 5 years already. I mean,
Goes fast.
It does. It really goes fast. So what kind of inspired you to do, make a website or a Facebook group like that?
Multiple reasons. I wanted to, one, see what other collectors had in their collections.
Mm-hmm.
Also help educate people and teach them, how to collect, what to collect, things to look for.
Mm-hmm.
So education and just, networking, just fans meeting other fans and,
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, certainly it's reached out to a lot of people and really enlightened a lot of folks. And one of my favorite things I like to see is people able to add to their collections things they didn't even know existed. And the amount of friends and people I've met over the year has certainly helped my collection, and I know yours as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say every week there's something posted that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And it just makes that wish list that much longer, never ending.
And the stories, and I know the group has even done some, great things for people that have been in need. I've seen stuff over the years where there's been some charity done and things like that a few times. So certainly a great Facebook group to be a part of. There'll be a link at the end of this video. There should be a link at the end of every video, if I don't forget, that you can check out and join. We do encourage you to join. It's a great group. You'll certainly love it, and you'll learn about other memorabilia other than what you're just going to see on these videos and this episode today. But with all that said, let's get into what we got. I mean, it looks like you've got some fantastic items. You have, personally, as far as memorabilia goes, I love pewter, but I know you really love pewter. And it's like one of your things that you focus your collection on. So, just kind of looking over everything, it looks like we got a little bit of, this certainly isn't everything that's out there, but kind of tell us a little bit about what we got here today.
Well, I brought a wide range of items. Some of the more common items that you often will find at shows and online is the ashtray from 75 and 76, and then the Pewter Stein, which they made 2 versions as well from 75 and 76.
Okay, I believe what's this? This is the 76 version, I believe. I can't tell.
Yes, 76.
Yeah, 76 version. And this is the 75 ashtray. One of the things you just kind of mentioned about the ashtray, I noticed with a lot of pewter items I've seen that they have these signature. And you see that with a lot of different memorabilia where they have the signatures like pennants and things like that, plates. But what's so unique about the pewter is how they're embossed. They're, raised up letters. And that's really the only items you see those kind of things on.
Yeah, and the quality and detail is great on these. And they're, both the Stein and this ashtray and even the little the pennant are very affordable. You can usually pick them up for $35 or less. Yeah. And then obviously just all depends on the condition, and just like anything, condition matters. Sometimes you'll see where the ashtray was used, or it's just just very dirty. It can't be cleaned.
Sure.
And I like to keep them in the natural, just aging. Don't shine them. Don't clean them with any type of hard chemicals.
Yeah.
Just want to look like it was in the 70s.
Yeah, and I noticed I've seen people use chemicals like you talk about, like CLR. It really brightens them up and probably makes them look like new.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're saying you kind of like it to have that gritty,
That antique look to it.
Yeah.
You know, make it look like it was from the 70s and not made yesterday.
right? I mean, you don't want it to where like you got ashes in it from a cigar or something, but you'll clean that a little bit. But you
Yeah.
don't like polish it clean.
Correct.
Right. Okay. And pewter in itself, I think pewter is like 90% tin or something like. I don't know, all the numbers to that, but it's kind of an imperfect metal to begin with, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pewter.
Yeah, it's very soft, and some of these are actually mixed in with other metals.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, sometimes like the only pewter really is the center insert,
Okay.
and then this is like a
Steel. Or
another metal of some sort, cast
Yeah.
iron.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Now, two of the rare items I see you have is like the 75 and the 76 bank. I don't see those very often. Is there any detail about those? One of the things I always find kind of interesting is specifically when you're talking about the 75, how it looks like it's been worn out around the edges. Is that supposed to be that way?
Every one that I have seen is like that,
Mhm.
so it must have come from the factory like that for
Okay.
some reason. Turn it around there
Yeah.
for everyone to see.
Yeah.
And both are equally as rare. Usually $75 on up
Okay.
is what you're going to look at spending to pick up one of those.
Just one or the pair?
Individually.
Wow, individually. So these are pretty rare pewter items. Now, in general, we got this ashtray, and I've seen a few items like this also that have this black, I don't know, like coating or paint or something. Are these pretty rare?
Yes, that's really rare. You're looking at probably $100
Really? Okay.
for those.
Yeah, and I've seen other types, like I said, that have that. And all of them are kind of rare if they have that.
Yeah, really, any of them that are square are, for the most part, hard to find. In any condition. And like when you're collecting, just, pick it up, the first one you see, and then you can always upgrade it. If you find it and it's marked up, the black is sometimes scratched
Okay.
where something just got placed in it and, over time, over the last 30, 40 years.
And so would you recommend, like if it was black, painting it, or just if it's scratched up, just leave it the way it is?
Leave it as is.
Yeah.
With anything really in the collecting, whether it's baseball or just any type of memorabilia, antiques, you should just, for the most part, leave it as is, unless it's just so terrible that, it's not going to affect the value any.
Yeah. And I notice when it comes to these medallions, coming back to this ashtray here, the 75 ashtray, there's also like steins and obviously the medallions by themselves. I noticed they use those medallions on a lot of different items.
Yep, they've been the same medallion that as a pennant was inserted in the ashtray, and then also inserted into the steins.
Steins, yeah. And that's a 76. So it's kind of odd how this 75 medallion, it's big letters. It shows the 75 stamped on it, and then the 76 medallion you see here, it's it's just a little small stamp. You wouldn't even, unless you look really close, you wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah, and most people don't even realize there is almost like 4 versions of the ashtray. There's one that's a 75, a 76, and then one that says WS Champs as well.
Really?
So.
Oh, wow. That's great stuff. Now, when it comes to like these items, this ashtray particularly, what was a value range of retail of that be?
$30, $35.
And I've seen some of them have like the red box. Does that add anything really to value?
The box doesn't add too much value on these because the box is just plain.
Yeah.
It doesn't help protect it in shipping or anything like that. So unlike a bobblehead or something fragile, it's not going to damage really. Just if you wrap it in bubble wrap, you don't really need to display the box. It's literally just a plain box.
And like I said, about 100 retail on this, 75 each on the banks. What about these steins? I see these a lot all over the place. So.
Yeah, they had to be mass produced just on the number that that you see currently available. You're still looking at $30 to $35.
Okay.
And sometimes you find them less, but sometimes it'll just be based on the condition.
Right. And last, like this 76 medallion out front here. Does it matter if it has the chain? Now that one that you brought today has the original chain, but I see some of them don't have the chain. Does that add or take away?
It has to help on the value for sure, because it was originally sold with the chain.
With the chain, okay. And what would something like that retail for?
Probably around 25 to 30. Just a
25 to
little
30.
bit less, yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, I think that's about all we have for this episode. Thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
All right. Well, we'll see you again soon. And just remember, if you really enjoy this, make sure you click that like button, not the likens button. I almost said the likens. The like button, and subscribe to this channel. And be sure to check out the Cincinnati Reds. What is it? Cincinnati Reds Memorabilia Collectors Facebook group. There will be a link to that afterwards. And until the next episode, happy collecting, everyone.